The situation that was at hand was so terrible in a way that it's only God that can save me. 2008/2009, I was queen of Winniport. So I started saying money too early. I had 3 crowns without cutting corners. So I believe that if a girl with integrity, beautiful, and ready to achieve a modeling or beauty pageant career, she can achieve that with me. That was my belief. When I saw money, and as of 2016, I could not even buy a pair of soap, let's say 200 naira to bathe. For someone that was already using 2,500 to 3,000 naira soap as of 2008, I could not buy my bathing soap. I could not buy my cream. I could not do anything. At some point, I was almost using detergent. Not, if I say detergent, that means I'm praising it. Not detergent. Normal blue Omo. I almost use a blue Omo, the one they sell 20 naira or 15 naira to bathe. And at that time, I went to mountain and I told God that at this point, it's only you that can help me. He asked me for what I wanted, and I told him that I want the African girl to stand out. I want the African girl not to be judged by the color of her skin. I want the African girl to have a voice. I want the African girl to fulfill their great dreams and visions, destinies, without selling their souls. And he told me that what I seek for, I must become first before it can be possible for others. I thought it was a mere talk. Talk is cheap. God's ways are not man's ways. And he gave me 2 other projects to carry on with. One is for the elderly and one is for the orphanage home. And I told him that I will have a dream to also build a home for the African girl. He said, when I'm done with my tests and task, then we'll talk about that. So I started getting my directives from the Holy Spirit himself. It was difficult to meet up some spiritual standard in that 3 days mountain I went to. But at last, I was able to see small lights after I left. And 2 months later, he told me that I'm not going to share any special day with anybody. I said, okay, so how will it work? He said, by February, you're going back to that mountain. I went to that mountain. And that is how everybody now want to marry Belema, just to stop my own test and task. But I stood my ground to see through their obsessions and their manipulations. After the February test, in June, he woke me up again and told me that I'm going back to the mountain. And when I went that June in 2017, that was how he stopped me from going back to my father's house. The person is asking not to go back to her father's house is someone that cannot afford 3 square meal at that time. So I was like, how do I start? Where do I go from here? But I obeyed. I was supposed to do a 3 days fast, but I did a 5 days fast because I do not know where to go to and I do not have food to break with. If I can, you can. Keep it locked here at the African Girl with the Mandate TV show, where you will not just only be an African girl, but you can also be an African girl fulfilling a destiny. You can also be an African woman or lady, an African boy or man, fulfilling your visions or your dreams. Feel free to use the link to share your story. Said it's time for me to help others. The story is an episode. The entire story is told to help others. I remain your ambassador, Belema. Yes, Mama, that African girl with the divine ultimate mandate.